He's only 18 years old. David Foster says another star is born, and of course, if anyone would know that, David Foster would know. Cody Karey is the next big thing in the singing world, and he is from right here in BC, from Little Fort St. James, and he's here today. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you for having me, Sophie.
And of course, you're going to be performing with David Foster tonight at GM Place.
That's correct.
So you've already gone on tour with him for 9 cities so far?
9 cities. We've been out there for just about 3 weeks now. Actually, I think today is 3 weeks.
Okay, take us back to when David first discovered you, basically.
3 years ago, I was doing the David Foster Star Search that he holds annually, I think, for his foundation.
Right.
And Sue Bailey, who's my manager now, was producing the show and saw something in me, had me in front of David a couple more times, and the rest is history.
I hear you you actually created your own demo on your own computer for that show.
Well, being from Fort St. James, I think the nearest sound studio is like a couple hundred miles away. So right? Yeah, I had to put that together on my laptop.
So were you recording like in your bedroom or something? Or?
In my living room, actually.
And what are the acoustics like in your living room?
Not terribly good. Not terribly good. I don't think I got by on the way it sounded. It was probably my good looks.
But well, I mean, we just heard you sing, so I think that you did all right. So how long have you been singing?
Ever since I can remember. I started doing competitions when I was about 6 or 7, and started taking classical voice lessons in around the same time, and have been doing that ever since.
And now, is there a lot? Did you get that training in Fort St. James? I mean,
no, not in Fort.
Because it is such a small town.
Yeah, I had to travel about 50 minutes away from there to Vanderhoof to get private lessons.
And now, David Foster, as I mentioned at the top, he is a star maker. I mean, he's discovered and helped propel the careers of so many people. And I'm sure that you've heard the comparison of Josh Groban. So you know, as you're growing up, and now you're 18, when you saw someone like Josh Groban going from no name to huge star, that must have been pretty inspiring for you.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, especially getting to work with the man behind all of that magic. Honestly, it's a surreal experience. And I've had to pinch myself every day to kind of remind myself what's going on. So.
How quickly has this been moving for you since David and Sue first listened to you?
Well, the first thing I did after the competition that I did with David was a very small charity thing in Victoria in front of about 800 people or something like that. And then immediately after that, I went to Toronto and performed in the World of Possibilities concert in front of, I think it was 35,000 people in downtown Toronto. So pretty fast. From
small fundraiser to 35,000 people.
Exactly.
What did it feel like walking up onto that stage?
Honestly, it was just crazy because we were right on Yonge Street, and you could see across the road and in the buildings and the high-rises all the way up. There were people with their heads out the windows and people on the roofs of the buildings, and for blocks, people all around. So it was pretty incredible.
Were you nervous?
Was I nervous? Incredibly nervous. But I mean, it happened. And I was actually singing with Jan Arden, and she's just a great lady, really awesome person, and she helped me out a lot with my nerves. So.
Well, okay, so since that, what did she tell you to help you out with your nerves?
You know, we just kind of did deep breathing, and you know, just even getting to talk to her a little bit personally beforehand was really relaxing for me.
She's a really funny lady, isn't she?
She's a great lady.
You've had the opportunity to perform with some huge names and to perform in front of some huge names as well. Have you been, you know, taking little bits of advice, taking little bits of, whether it has to do directly with your singing or whether it has to do with your performing and your on-stage presence? Oh,
absolutely. And I mean, I got to meet Andrea Bocelli a couple of years ago in Dallas for a private function, and that was like the moment of my career so far. He's an absolute idol to me. And you know, even being in the same show as him was a very educational experience for me. And the same thing with this tour. I mean, being on the stage, you know, every night in front of thousands of people brings you up. so much. So.
Right. Well, you've got a lovely voice, a beautiful voice. We're going to hear it in just a few minutes, and you can catch it tonight at GM Place, 8 o'clock. David Foster and Friends, a very special evening, and you guys have a contest going on as well.
We do have a contest. You can go to my website, is CodyKarey.com, Cody with a C, Karey with a K. And if you enter your email address there, you'll be entered in a draw to win a signed David Foster and Friends prize package.
All right. Cody Karey, CodyKarey.com. Thank you so much for coming in, Cody.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we'll let you warm up your voice for just a couple of minutes. And Christy, we'll just let you speak the weather forecast.
Oh, okay, thanks so much for letting me off the hook, because there's no way I'm going to sing and then have Cody come up after me. All right, thanks.